or Ebola. But with autoimmune disease, it's not one thing. It's a mixture of things. So I can't say, okay, well, there's one reason that my shoulder doesn't get better over the last 5 years and nobody can figure out why. And that's okay. See, they agree.
They agree. Well, that's one of the reasons why I came up with my Restore program, was because I was handling my health like a personal trainer, understanding that I had something that was really pissed off, but what is it connected to? You know, what is it connected to? Like you said, my back hurts. Let's look at the hip. Let's look at the ankle. So I kind of knew that, but I really just was hammering like nutrition really hard. Nutrition and movement. Those were the two things that I really knew. And where I really started to get some traction, and I'm definitely not 100%. I don't think anybody's ever 100%, but I'm 100% better than I was, you know, crawling in the afternoon because I was so tired, you know, or whatever. But is my Restore program, RESTORE, is rest. That's about stress management. And then eating matters, your sleep, your tribe, so the people that you hang out with. And then opening up your ability to deal with your feelings, know what they are, deal with your feelings, what's really true. And then comes repair. After those things, then comes repair. And then finally, we're going to know more about movement and what movement is appropriate. I have all my clients move throughout all of their, work with me, but really tackling that stress and getting to the underlying issue was what made the biggest difference for me. What is stressing my body out? And it was the gut stuff that you're talking about, you know, and the lymph work, and my food just wasn't doing it. And I was trying, I remember sending you messages, you know, and whatever, and you're like, you know, go, you know, get some ferments, you got, you know, or whatever. And I just needed to kind of put it all together. And so with your lymph program and your body aquarium program and everything, how is it for the people that are watching this? And I know that their minds are blown with thinking like, why haven't I heard this kind of stuff? And how come somebody hasn't told me about my thyroid and my liver? And I call the lymph system here in my practice, you know, your waste management system, you know, and how do they learn, like, either how to work with you or things to do at home? Or I know I watch your videos and your Instagram. You're like the king of social media with giving out usable information, stuff you can do right now, no matter who you are and where you are. But can you share a little bit about that? What people can do?
Sure. Cool. I try to give them a couple of things they can do after listening to this one that can help them. Because I talk about what I reference called LTAs, which stands for little tiny action steps. It doesn't take a lot to make a huge change in the body, especially when you work with the lymphatic system. Because, the system's been waiting for you to figure this out. Trust me. And, with the system, I wanted to make it simple. I wanted to make it easy, and I wanted to make it so anybody can do it to themselves. So it's a self-assessment and it's a self-treatment program, but you could also do it to other people. From if you're just a regular person, because people message me all the time and say, I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm just a regular person. Can I do your program? I'm like, yes, my program is for humans of all different types. But you can take it to the next level if you want to treat another person, right? And as long as you stay kind of true to the easy fundamental concepts that you have. So I put the system together so you could watch a video in the comfort of your own home. So it's a streaming video that once you purchase it, you own it for life, and you can watch it forever. And you go through the first part of the video, which is about 45 minutes, and explains to you in detail what I just explained to you, what the system is. And then it shows you how to assess it. So you know where to press and see if it hurts. And then you also know where to treat. You can do it by hand, or you can do it with what we call dry brushing, where you take a brush and you go over it. But I made it unique. I show you how to do it with a toothbrush. And the reason I chose a toothbrush is because, everybody has one, or you can get one. So you can start right away. Because people would say to me, I don't know what kind of brush. I don't know how hard a brush to get. I don't know how big a brush to get. I'm like, well, let's just start with a toothbrush because, you want to remove as much friction from anybody from starting a new habit. And then they would begin to do that. So basically I give them a real simple one, I'll tell you, that they can try, and this can make a big difference. I'm just going to give you like 3 places that you can take with your hand, and you can just slap, 5 to 10 times on an area of your body. And you're going to do both sides, and you're going to do it in the order I'm going to show you, because the order is very important, because when the lymphatic system drains a certain way in your body towards your neck, and you have to do it in a certain sequence so the fluid flows more easily. You get better results that way than just kind of slapping anywhere you want to on your body when you do it. So I'm going to show you or tell you, are people going to be seeing this show like video, or is it just going to be audio?
I'm going to do both.
Okay. So I'll show it and I'll explain it at the same time. And I'll give you something that you can take every day to help flush things out a little bit. So you just take like you're going to slap something, right? Like you're clapping your hands together, that kind of thing with your fingers. And what you're going to do is you take your right hand and you're going to put it above your collarbone on the left-hand side, not straight on your neck, but right above the collarbone. And you're going to slap there 5 to 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, kind of hard, but no pain. And then you do the same thing now on the right side. So you go above the right side 5 to 10 times. And we slap there because that's where all the lymph wants to travel to before it goes back to the heart, right? And then what you're going to do is you could probably stand up, or you can do it seated. You're going to go across the crease of your groin on both sides, where when you sit down, you've got, you got the crease. And you can do both sides at the same time. I usually have people slap that region 5 to 10 times. Yeah. So then now that'll move the lymph in the groin, and that'll start traveling up towards the neck. And then the last one you do is going to be right behind both knees. So you can bend over a little bit or sit in a chair, and then you slap the back of both knees 5 to 10 times. And then now all you're going to do is, while you're standing up, or if you're seated, you want to stand up, you're just going to jump up and down like you're kind of going up on your toes, like you're jump roping. And you do that for about 10 seconds and put your hands up over your head so your arms can drain down. And what this does is that moves the fluid up and down like this way and helps it begin to drain out of your body. And most people will tell me that, I can't believe something that simple can make such a big difference. But you wait and see. Like, you'll usually feel something right away. 1, that you just slapped yourself, but 2,
it's refreshing.
You'll feel a little bit more energy. You'll feel almost tingly in a way because you changed how fluid moves. And all those areas that you just slapped are major areas where blood has to flow. But the next day you wake up, you'll usually feel more energy. But even just from that, some people feel like they might get a little bit of a headache from that because you actually are starting to detoxify already, because all those areas are places where you have lymph nodes, and lymph nodes are the places that kill all those toxins. And when they get backed up, when you slap them, you release all that waste into your system in one shot. So you might get a little bit of a detoxification reaction where you get a little tired, fatigued, you get a headache like that. And that's normal. That's normal. But what you can do to help offset that is you want to hydrate your body. So you drink water, but you don't drink plain water, because plain water doesn't go into cells very well. You want to try to put something in the water, what we call structured water. When you put something in the water, you actually change the physical bonding properties of the water, so it can actually cross the membranes of your cells much easier. Most people, I'll tell them, especially if you have a sluggish liver, is to throw a little bit of fresh lemon in the water, lemon water. Lemon will actually help you alkalize your body. not make it acidic, and it's a great liver flush. You could do that, or you could put a little tincture in there of sea salt, or what they call pink salt, not table salt, one of the two. And then that will also help absorption, because the water inside your body is more like seawater than regular water. Or you can put electrolytes. You can buy electrolytes and put them in the water and drink it. And then that'll really help you rehydrate, because most people, if you have an autoimmune disease or chronic pain, you're dehydrated. I don't care if you drink a lot of water or not, you're dehydrated. Because just because you drink water doesn't mean it's going into the cells when you drink it.
Absolutely.
If you have a lymphatic system that's overloaded, trust me, it's not going into the cells as well as it could.
Right.
And if you do those like simple things like every day, like my system shows you way more than that. I'll show you all the different nodes, but those are 3 big ones, what we call node roads, areas where a lot of these important things come together. If you just do that, it can make a huge difference. So most people, when they come to my course or they do the video or they send me messages, we've already kind of set them already through our conversation, but they always tell me 2 things. One, why the hell didn't somebody tell me this stuff before?
Right.
And then they get physically upset, because they're like, somebody should have told me this stuff before.
Right.
And then the other one is like, I can't believe it's that simple to take care of.
I agree. I know the ones I've done after I took your course is I combine it with some of the other neurolymphatic points, where you covered like, the head and, the armpits and, the belly. And I have all my clients, that's part of how they start, and the bouncing, that's how they start their training. If it's somebody I'm doing strength training with, that is part of their warm up, is I see them, you know what I mean? We're visiting and they're talking and they're doing, and they don't, I know at first I guide them through it. And if I have a slew of newer clients, it means that I might be guiding somebody and I just say, just do what I do, literally like 4 or 5 people in a row maybe, or whatever. And I tell you what, I feel fantastic. After doing all of that lymph work all day. There isn't a day that I don't do the dry brushing. And then throughout the day, I notice it is even helpful if I hit some of my points, just even when I'm feeling kind of tired, especially around here. This is where and what's really funny is when I'm having like a flare, which isn't as often anymore, but when I'm having a flare, my husband will see me rubbing here. And he'll ask me, are you feeling okay? And I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And I don't realize how my body kind of naturally wants to help itself. I have yet to download. I need to get the aquarium. I know I did your course and absolutely love it, and refer back to the notes frequently that I took down in San Diego. That was totally awesome. Are you doing any, the body aquarium stuff? I've got people watch this, or at least the podcasting is all over the world. And I know you travel all over the world. And so where are you going to be in 2020? Do you know your calendar? You going to be all over again?
Yeah, pretty much all over, honestly. Like I have a wonderful assistant and she's my director of operations. Her name is Louisa. And she pretty much sets things up and tells me, okay, you go stand here. And then I just show up, but I tell her kind of where I want to go. Like people reach out to me and say, can you go here? Can you go here? Like that. And I did a lot more courses outside of the US last year. I'll try to do more inside the US this year, because the program is always evolving. Like I'm always learning based on when I teach. I learn things better by. Here's the thing, when you teach, you can have a concept of how something is going to work or go, but it doesn't always work out like that. And that's why I do all this stuff. Before I began to teach this program, I worked on myself first and then clients for a long time to get it is I don't like to say perfect, because it's not, because it's always evolving, but And then when research changes or I find something that I think can work a little bit better, then I'll change it up. So it's a little bit different than it originally was, but the fundamental concepts are the same.